Hey guys, what's going on? Before I start off this video, I've had a lot of people asking me where they can download this mod. It's currently not out yet, but it's going to be out very soon, hopefully within a month. So just make sure you subscribe to the channel and you will definitely find out when it's been released. Alright, now back to your normal presentation. Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another Black Ops 1 Reimagined video. Today we are going over all the changes to traps in the mod. So let's start off with all trap kills now count as kills for the player who activated. So as soon as I get a zombie over here, I can show that off. Alright, activate the trap. And once the zombie finally gets here, we will get our kill. There we go. So this works for all traps, including the Centrifuge on Ascension. Now, no one actually activates the Centrifuge on Ascension. I'll show later how that's done. So yeah, and also on the classic maps, previously the traps don't show if they're active or recharging. They won't show the hint strings, but I added those hint strings onto the classic map traps. Previously they would just show nothing, and then once it's ready to use again, it would show the hint string, but now it always shows some type of hint string. I also fixed trap handles being moved to the wrong spot. If you activate the trap as soon as the handle is going up, so you activate it as soon as it becomes active again, while it's just after it's done recharging. Alright, so this next change is a pretty big buff to the traps in Shi No Numa, which is well deserved. The normal version of Black Ops 1, the Shi No Numa traps are weird. Normally they last 25 seconds, which is standard for Verrucht and Derice traps. They both last 25 seconds as well, but the thing with Verrucht and Derice traps is that their cooldown is also only 25 seconds. The Kino and Ascension traps have a 40-second active time and then a 60-second recharge time. Now, basically the Shi No Numa traps get the worst of both sides. They're only active for 25 seconds and then they have a 60-second cooldown, which is what I was surprised by. I thought they only had like a 40-second cooldown somewhere in between both of the traps, but no, it's the full recharge time of the Black Ops 1 traps with only the active time of the World at War traps. So what I've done is made it the same, consistent with the other two classic maps, so it now has a 25-second active time, which is the same as before. That hasn't been changed, but its cooldown time has been reduced from 60 seconds to 25 seconds, so a pretty big cooldown delay, more than half as much. So there might actually be some cool electric trap strats. I still think the Flogger is gonna beat out the electric trap any electric trap strats, because the Flogger is just so good. And anyways, now we will go on to the Flogger changes. No, my bad, I actually stand corrected. I checked the code again, and the Shi No Numa traps actually have a 90-second cooldown normally. 90-second. That's more than the Black Ops 1 and Ascension traps. That's 1.5 times more, or 50% more, which is just ridiculous. So they've been reduced from 90 seconds to 25 seconds cooldown, which is the same as Verrucht and Derice. So now on to the Flogger changes. So the Flogger got some interesting updates. So you can still activate both traps, each trap triggers. I kept that feature in because it's just such a unique feature and it's used in every Shi No Numa strat. You have to keep that, even though it technically is a glitch. It's not supposed to be in the game, but what I've done is made the two trap triggers independent of each other. So this trigger will stay green and stay active. It'll say the trap is active, while this side is active. And also, while one of the sides is going, you can't activate the other side. That's one thing I've changed. But as soon as one of them stops being active, you can activate the other one. And that also fixes the Flogger trap itself from going into a weird position, because if you activate it while it's already active, it'll basically glitch out, just like how the trap trigger itself glitches out if you activate it while it's just becoming active again. So yeah, and now this one will say active, this one will say active too. And then as soon as it stops, they will both say recharging. And then this one will go off cooldown first. So this one will say ready, and then this one will still say recharging with red lights on it. So yeah, there we go. This one's active, ready to use now, and this one still says it's recharging. So the two triggers are completely independent of each other now, so it's not like a glitch anymore, it's an actual feature. A glitch turned into a feature, so I know it's kind of confusing how I worded it. I hope I worded it as well as I could. So yeah, and then there's a few other changes. The Flogger itself does 50 damage to players now, no matter what. I think before it did more damage in co-op. It always did 50 damage in solo, but now it does 50 damage all around. And also before, it was able to damage you. How do I explain this? Basically, if the trap's moving really slow and you hit yourself with the trap, it'll count as multiple hits. Basically, it just checks every frame if you're in the trap or not. So what I changed is that if you've already been hit by the trap and you're still touching the trap, you won't get hit again. Now, that doesn't mean you can just stand in the middle and take no damage, but it means for each whatever you call it, each spiky edge of the trap can only hit you one time per rotation around the trap until it stops hitting you, but the next time it loops around, it can hit you again. It's basically only fixes a bug that happened when the trap was moving really slow, like when it first starts. It was able to hit you multiple times when it really shouldn't, so that has been fixed. Alright, so the Shi No Numa Zipline now has all of the correct hint strings working, and the cooldown has been reduced from 40 seconds to 5 seconds. And now the trap only costs half as much. It only costs 750 points. So the zipline's gone some pretty big changes. And also any trap or any kills that the zipline itself gets also count as kills for the player who activated it. And then yeah, look, it's already ready again. You can go instantly. I basically made it work similar to the Lunar Lander on Ascension. I think the Lunar Lander does take longer than 5 seconds, but if you call the Lunar Lander, it only takes a few seconds to recharge. So think of it like that: a called Lunar Lander that costs 750 points instead of 250, because this one can actually kill zombies. Also, the trigger that's on this side can be activated from either side. Before, it could only be activated if it was from this side, but now, as we wait for it to recharge, we will see that I'm able to activate it from here without being on the zip line. And then it goes back that way. So you can just keep activating it from here if you want to use it as a trap, really. Alright, so this change is on the Reese. So the teleporters now will kill zombies on any round. Previously, only the Kino teleporters kill zombies on any round, but now the Reese teleporters do also. Okay, yeah. There's a little delay on there. I might fix that. Didn't seem to kill them right away, but it definitely killed them. It didn't just make them headless like it's known for. Let me try that again. Haven't tested this before, I don't think. But there was previously a cap on how much damage it could do, and now that cap is gone. So let's see. If I just activate it and then run out. Oh yeah, there's quite a big delay. Alright, well, that'll be fixed in the release version. But on to the next change. Okay, here we go. The turrets on Kino and Ascension now deal 1/3 of the zombie's health each time they hit a zombie. And they also count as kills for you. So as you can see, I set the game to around 100 and it's killing them. Maybe not extremely fast, but you gotta remember the trap has no cooldown, so you can activate it right away. And it's doing a decent job, you know. It's also targets the zombies that are closest to it now. And, well, it actually deals either 500 damage or 1/3 of the zombie's health, whichever one is more. So that way in the lower rounds, it will kill zombies a little bit quicker. So yeah, here we go. And it can also kill the quad zombies, which make an explosion, which will kill any zombies within that explosion. So you'll sometimes kill more zombies if you get the quads to be killed first. So yeah, overall, it's now a decent trap. You can actually probably use it in a high round strat. It would be cool to see some strategies combining the fire trap strat with this. I think it could work out pretty well. 2 new changes to the teleporters on 5. they no longer take your weapons away or freeze your controls. So it basically works exactly how the moon teleporter works, if you want to think of it that way. You can just run right through it and you can keep going, keep walking. It feels much more smooth now. I had to change this because it just feels a lot better now. You can just walk right through them without having your weapon taken away. So also if you're reloading, it won't stop your reload like it would before because it would take your weapon away previously. Now it doesn't do that. You just walk right through it and teleport. Alright, so the landers on Ascension have gotten one small change. There's just a short delay after activating it, so you can easily walk off the lander as you're activating it and not having to ride it, which makes it so you can turn on Pack Punch without having to ride the landers. You're able to easily do this on consoles because you have to actually hold the action before it activates, but on PC it activates immediately with the press, so that's why I added the delay back. It's only like a 0.2 second delay or something, so it's not gonna mess up any of your strats or anything. Not like there's any lunar lander strats anyways. What am I talking about? Alright, roll on to the next clip. Alright, so the Centrifuge, as I said earlier, kills now count on the Centrifuge for zombies that are killed. And perfect, it's gonna go off without... Okay, here we go. Here's a zombie. And boom. Basically, the player who gets the kill is the player who's closest to the zombie that's killed. So there are some situations where the lander could just be going off out of nowhere and you couldn't even be that close to the zombie and it could still count as a kill for you, but it's whatever. And also the lunar land, or not the lunar lander, the Centrifuge will keep going off for the entire round. Before it was able to deactivate during the round, but I've removed that, so it'll just keep going off the whole round. I haven't decreased or increased the activation time for it. It's basically a random amount of time between like 90 seconds to 120 seconds, so just yeah, basically every 90 to 120 seconds the lunar lander will go off. It no longer will deactivate for full rounds. Sometimes it could actually deactivate for the remainder of one round and then for the whole next round after that too. So I've removed both of those. It'll just keep going off all the time. So get prepared for some new first room strats, boys. And also the bug where the Centrifuge caused invisible and invincible zombies in the higher rounds, where the only way to kill them was with traps. Did the Thunder Gun kill them? I think the Thunder Gun does kill them, but they're basically become unkillable and they're invisible, but if you run into them they'll stop you from running and they can attack you too. That should be fixed because I've capped the zombies' health at 1 million, which is plenty of health for anyone to not be able to kill the zombies unless they're absolutely trying to. So I don't see any reason not to cap the health at 1 million, and it'll prevent weird bugs like the Centrifuge glitch and also the insta-kill glitch where the insta-kill doesn't work in high rounds. That should also be fixed with the health cap because the health doesn't really need to go above 1 million. It really doesn't. So yeah, that's all the change. Oh, and for the Centrifuge, it does 50 damage no matter what. I believe with the Centrifuge along with the Flogger, they both do more damage in co-op. I think that's the case. Yeah, I believe the Centrifuge always did 50 damage in co-op, but it did like 10 damage in solo or something, so I've increased the damage it does, so that's one nerf the Centrifuge has gotten. But the huge buff is that it can keep going on for the entire round no matter what. So yeah, on to the next change. Alright, so my boy the Flinger on Call of the Dead has gotten a pretty nasty upgrade. The kills that you actually get from the Flinger, the flings, actually count for kills towards the round now, so you can actually use this as a trap now. It's a free trap. So here we go, and those kills actually count for you too, and if you see the zombies remaining has also gone down by 5. So yeah, it's just an unlimited trap. It's in a very risky area though, although it is, if you do find a strat for it, it would be very fast. I guarantee you there probably will be a strat, especially with the VR11 and scavenger upgrades. So almost bound to be a strat. So yeah, now there's a trap strat on Call of the Dead, which will be fucking awesome. Alright, so now for the spikes on Shang, they have gotten a pretty big buff too. Well, they got a buff and a nerf. So the nerf is that they now do 50 damage to players. Previously, they only did about 5 or 10 damage. Even though it looks like they do more, what Treyarch actually did is they added a fake hit marker to your screen to make it look like they do more damage, but really they only do about 10 damage. So now they actually do a full 50 damage. But now they will kill some zombies for you. So Call of the Dead and Shang are now trap maps, boys. Let's go. Hopefully we will see new trap strategies once this mod is released in a month or so. And yeah, that's all the changes I have for you guys on traps. Make sure you subscribe to stay tuned in for the next video. And I am out. Peace.